I don't believe it. That's Clone Force 99.
This is Wrecker, Hunter, Echo, Tech, and Crosshair.
Obviously, we are different.
We're all you're getting.
Ha! We're all you need!
They call themselves the Bad Batch. Experimental Unit Clone Force 99. The defective clones with desirable mutations.
This is one meeting I don't want to miss.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Dad Batch Podcast, episode 49. Now, that intro song is like a warm blanket. It just feels so good hearing that every week. My name is Stevie Kicks, and I am your host in the pilot seat today. And you know I can't do it alone. With us, as always, the other Dad Batchers, your space daddies. First up, when has he ever followed orders? It's Joe Lara. How are you, man?
Dude, tomato soup and grilled cheese. That's my comfort food. That song.
Tomato soup,
is my
grilled
comfort
cheese,
song.
and then the Dad Batch intro.
Yeah.
What's up, man? How was your weekend? What we won't talk about. You know what? Let me before I actually have you get into it. I do want to address the elephant or the tauntaun or no the bantha in the room, because if you're listening to us right now in your ear holes, you're probably wondering, why am I listening to episode 49 right now? And that's because we don't have episode 48, our season finale from last week.
Well, we have it, but it just sounds like a bunch of Sarlacc screeches and whatever.
Yeah. So we're gonna right now we're just gonna consider that one of the lost episodes, but we've got the slicers working on it to see if they can rescue that audio. But in the meantime, we didn't want to leave the listeners hanging. We didn't want to leave you guys hanging and not have a season finale. That being said, we are going to talk about last week. We are going to talk about Tonga Hut. We are probably going to cover a lot of the stuff that we covered last week. But for those of you who did attend our live season finale show at the Tonga Hut in Hollywood, congratulations, because that was like
one and done.
It was a one and done. It was a special event.
One off. Yep.
Exclusive.
Yeah.
Dude, thank you for everybody that came out. That was fun. Are we going to talk about it now?
Yeah, we can talk about it. Well, here, let's do this. Intros from last week where Joe, when has he ever followed orders? The commanding officer of the 501st Legion's Southern California Garrison, Rami Shanaday. The best poppy in the Outer Rim, John Rodriguez. And Brian Cook, who's unable to be with us tonight, but he's here in spirit, or spirits, depending on what he's consuming this evening. Guys, yeah. How'd you guys like that show? I mean, I dug it.
It was good.
Fun.
It was fun to go to the venue and kind of scope it out and say, oh, this is very outdoors. This is picnic tables. But then you start getting in the Tonga vibe, like the tiki vibe. So it was, I don't know, the people as they started pouring in is what made it really fun.
Yeah.
It gave me like London vibes, like just kind of like having people in the room and be able to comment and say what they worked on. I love that. It brought me back to London, like the same fun feeling that that environment. It was cool.
I was really taken aback because as soon as I was about to start our intro for the show, a listener came up and handed us these Grogu custom tiki mugs.
Mm-hmm.
This is from Tiki Tony, the Tiki Land Trading Company, and it's like, I mean, it's so bespoke. It's so like, if it wasn't ceramic, I would say this is like handcrafted, right?
It's like very artisan, yeah.
Oh,
Very
yeah.
handmade. Beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, are they not handmade? They've got to, like,
Yeah, no, they have to be, yeah.
because even yours looks a little different than mine.
Really? Or maybe they're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously they're hand sculpted, right? That's how this stuff. I don't know. How does pottery work?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if there's like a mold for that.
Yeah, it's if it
Guys,
is.
that's a skill that none of us have unlocked yet. Ceramics.
Oh gosh.
That was awesome. So David and Laurel's the one that kind of took him out of her bag and surprised us. I don't have a mug. That was like my first tiki mug ever. So thank you. And John poured his drink right into it. And
Yeah. Well, she's like, I washed it. I'm like, all right.
yeah,
Yeah, it was cool.
super sweet.
drinks
And
were
we got
gnarly.
to see got to see some familiar faces and then new faces. I think that's what the connection with London, right? Is you have a long distance relationship with these people, and then you find out, oh, you actually exist. That's really cool.
We still had even some of the folks that came to this were longer distance. I know at least one couple got like a hotel room, like because they had come far enough that they were making a whole night out of it. So
Nice. Well, we hope you enjoyed LA. I hope you didn't just only see us and then go back home. But yeah, that was fun. It was nice to see a lot of new faces. We had people coming out in costume. We had people show up in costume. We had people show up in non-Star Wars costumes, which was very cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
That
we
was
had a
cool.
one Daft Punk costume, which was cool.
That was pretty rad, dude. That was a
good-
good job. That was
Yeah.
Yeah,
chrome dome.
I got the intel on the cost of the paint job on that, and it was not a cheap date. So
I mean, whenever
Yeah.
is it though? Whenever you see a costume that makes you say "whoa" from across the room,
it's money or time that's involved, right?
yeah.
One of those two.
yeah.
Like lots of it.
Because I mean, you said "whoa" like that was the prom date from high school or something. You were like, that Daft Punk walked in, Rayman. You were like,
Well,
wow, look at that chrome.
Because John and I are working on it, and we kind of hit a barrier because we're trying to find a good paint application
Yeah,
that gets
'cause-
that chrome effect. Because chrome's expensive.
That's the problem. You can't paint it the way. So that's like electroplating or like what Gordon does with like the chemical chroming. Like that stuff's expensive, and the kit is expensive to do that. To set it up is super expensive. So we're just painting metallic paint on our helmets, and it's not quite, reflective chrome. So that's where all of a sudden the chrome guy walks in, and you're like, "Dang! Like mine does not look like that anymore," And it's tough.
I use spaz.
So we're trying to figure it
that's
out.
all I got.
There's some more stuff that I'll
Spastics
talk
is
to you
good.
guys about chroming on the workbench.
So
when
you
we get
guys
to
are
that.
like, you guys were impressed, but I looked over. I'm like, wow.
Wow. Dude, we had a full blown Ahsoka that was like
Yep.
Chef's kiss, right? I mean, the Montrals on that Ahsoka were just like they were pretty good.
The story
Yeah, it
alone
was
was crazy.
Yeah, it was a perfect match for the aesthetic on the show too. They matched
And
great.
we had a bunch of Mandos that showed up in their full Mando gear.
Shout out to
Had
the
some
Mandos.
had some Narkina 5 prisoners running around.
Oh yeah, that's
With
right.
pool
That's
3
right.
with pool floaties.
with pool floaties.
Yep.
Dude, Catalina and her sister Isabella and her father came out, which was kind of cool. Like I didn't, Catalina. That was pretty rad to actually meet them.
Shout out
Yeah,
to
that was awesome.
shout out to friends of the pod, Juan and Emily, the parents of Indy Speeder. They were
That's
there.
right.
and
They came out.
Had a
They
good
hung
time.
Super
Dude,
I think
we Yeah, I think I'm going to try to see if I can get my tickets to Juan and I have 2 tickets to Mosh Isley, so I might try to get those tickets to them because they were saying they could get a sitter for Indy and pull Juan and Emily out and do some adulting. That'd be really cool if we can get them to go. So I'm going to try to work that.
Make it happen.
I know. Juan, they're good people, amazing people.
And thank you to the proprietors over at Tonga Hut for treating us very well.
Dude, those drinks, I would say most of them were good. The Wookiee, the dirty Wookiee.
That's like a coffee drink, right? That's not the first thing I think about when I think tiki drinks.
It was coffee with citrus. There was citrus peel in it. And so it's kind of like if you really got Chewbacca and you squeezed and wring his fur and the juice poured out into a cup, like, and drank it. That's what it tastes like.
Spotchka was strong, but that was good. I think my favorite out of the night was the Spotchka.
It was the least abrasive, for sure.
Dude, and Dom was there. He hooked me up with the Navy grog. Holy cow, that one did me well. Thank you, Tonga Hut.
And then I think one of the coolest photo ops of the night was impromptu stacking of our helmets on the fountain that they had there. That was pretty cool.
Dude, a highlight was Brian. A highlight was Brian making drinks on that screen. Like Ramey brought out all the technology to basically include him. And at one point, somebody grabbed a shot where Brian's looking over towards the table just by circumstance, and Ramey's looking right back, and it's like it looked pretty cool. And so and then Brian was worried because he was so disconnected from us, but dude, it came out so good on the other end.
Yeah. What we need to do next time is, instead of a TV, we need to get it like on an iPad that has wheels. Like, when we go to like sushi and we have the robot waiter, we need one of those with Brian's face on it.
It has little music. Bum, bum, bum,
and
bum,
then we can like duct tape the microphone to it, and then he can be the one to go interview the crowd.
Yeah. He just goes up.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, thank you again, everybody, for tuning in. If you'd like to rep your support for the show, sticker packs and shirts are available at thedadbash.com. And before I continue, guys, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the sticker packs left that did not get picked up at the event. So these are available. Cool. These are available if you are interested in a sticker pack with our holographic tiki buckets.
Our exclusive artwork.
Yeah, this was only available at the Tonga Hut show.
Dragon Whisperer. Yep.
If you're interested in a sticker pack of those, email us at dadbatchpod@gmail.com, or you could message any one of us on Instagram.
Yeah, shoot us a DM. Slide right in.
This garbage is nothing like clone armor.
Looks a little tight on you, old man.
Yeah, at least I know how to wear it.
That's right, everybody. It's time for the weekly workbench. All right, gentlemen, who is working on what?
All right. Well, just quickly, I finished up that helmet, the Buckeye helmet. I think if you're watching, you might see it over my shoulder here.
It looks so good.
I'm gonna be. Thank you. I'm gonna be taking that to San Diego Comic-Con so Daniel Romero can sign it, who is the stunt actor who wore the actual costume. And then eventually, when I see Judah, I'm gonna have him sign it too, just because it's like they are the ones that brought it to us in a way. And also, I'm like excited about this. I got one of those. I got a spray gun, an Iwata LPH 50, I think it's called, or LHP. I think it's LHP or LPH. I'm not sure. Someone's gonna hate me for saying it wrong. No. HVLP is. Yeah. That's not. I'm talking about the model. It's like an LHP 50. Yeah, I think it's either an LHP or an. Yeah, I'm mixing one of the letters up. But the gun, oh my god, Now, I get it now. Like I used it, and at first I was just like, not painting the item, but I was kind of just blowing the paint in the air. And I'm like, oh my god, like, oh my god, it's incredible. Like I get it now. Like I get it. It's totally worth it. I already want to get another one for clear coat.
Question.
Super cool. Yes.
Do you have a gauge yet on how much extra material you went through? Like how much extra paint did you burn through doing it that way compared to if you had done it with an airbrush? Because we know what the airbrush produces, but there's got to be a lot of overspray, right?
So there was a bit of over. So I still don't have the control and finesse one would have when doing that. So I probably wasted more than the professional would. But
You'll get
definitely
better.
you do waste. Yeah. Eventually, I'll be able to because there is like a double action mechanism on these things where if you just pull it a little bit, it's air, and if then you pull it more, it's air and paint. And there's this in between where you can do more air and just let a little bit of paint out. It's all on the pressure of your your hands.
So it's like it's variable. So the more you pull the trigger, the more paint opens up.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. And I didn't really adjust any of the nozzles or the knobs to fine tune it. I just kind of gave it a go as is, and it happened to work like flawlessly, like impeccable. And something I noticed with the airbrush is because we open it full throttle to do this sort like a similar paint job, and sometimes it'll spray like little droplets that look different, right? That will definitely look different than what the finish is supposed to be. And this didn't do that at all. It was just completely clean. Every attempt was flawless. Like I get it now. Like it's like easy. It's super easy. Like maybe it's not easy. That's not the right word, but it was very effortless. Like compared to the airbrush where you're like, crap. Like I need to get this right. The gun was just
different.
Done. It's like what? Like really?
John Freeze.
Like, and then you give it a little more around the edges and the corners, and you're like, oh my god, like, mind blown, unbelievable.
Yes, he did.
Like, I have buddies on Instagram that have like been praising spray guns for a while now. Now it's like you don't need it. I'm like on the hobby side.
Sure,
you don't need it.
Okay.
If you want, get an airbrush, or you can use spray cans. Like, no, wait, hold on.
I mean, last week and into the weekend was just mostly getting ready for the
worth
live
it,
event.
and it's
but
a different
as part of that,
learning
I
curve, and it's a different.
My laser machine up and running, which was used to do the coasters that we were giving away at the event. So that was cool. So that thing's now that I've got it figured out, I know how to work it. We're gonna have some fun with that thing now. So I shared a picture early this morning of my Let's Build a Mando project, kind of like what the armor and the helmet and like what's been picked so far it looks like. Because the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do a poll for the jetpack options. So that's coming. I ordered a alternate Yondu jacket because that other company like canceled my order. So I'm not as excited about this one, but at the same time, I think I need to just like it can't. It is going to be cost prohibitive for me to make that jacket completely by hand because I'll want to do it with leather and do it right, and it's gonna be like a $600 jacket if I do it myself. So
what do you not like about this one? Like, is it way off?
Just the quality of the materials. I think I can put some time and energy into this and make it work.
Okay.
It'll be like what Brian had to do. Like Brian had to make some changes to that jacket that he's got to make it look right. Yeah. It was just sort of a China knockoff cosplay jacket, pleather. I can do the same thing to this and it'll be fine.
I think people are going to be distracted by that fin. They're going to be just, dude, that's the centerpiece. I mean,
yeah. So, but that's the problem. It's like, I want the rest of it to be on par with that. It came out so good. I don't want the rest of it to detract from that. So, I actually found another cosplayer has did a quasi tutorial on how they made parts of their costume. And so I've actually got some good intel from that. And in watching what they did with their boots, they built a new pair of Yondu boots around a pair of just like inexpensive black work boots. That I actually happen to have like the exact same pair. So I'm going to try and use those to build the Yondu boots. So we'll see how it goes. I if this jacket actually comes and it's something that I can work with, I will feel like I see the light at the end of the tunnel again instead of doom and gloom where I'm at with not having anything.
Show up with the eyes, that fin, the teeth. If you got jacked up teeth and you just kind of act the part, it's going to come together.
Oh, that's right. I got to talk. I got a line on somebody that makes like teeth. I got to talk to them and find out.
It's so good, dude.
Dude.
And it just stays there. It just works.
The fact that you installed magnets under your skin to like connect to that. So good.
Gotta go on in, Since when have we ever done anything halfway?
Listeners, don't install magnets on your skin.
Don't do that. We're only teasing. So
no BFMs were harmed in the making.
And yes, for a good venture, I will have to shave, but we'll. I've already got that figured out.
It's Mary Poppins, though.
It's all good. It's an adjustment to the existing beard, not so much a do-over.
Mary Poppins, y'all.
Oh, sorry. Are you good?
I'm done.
Okay, so a couple things that I'll talk about. So I was printing the piece for that bike that I was talking about last couple weeks ago. Well, the piece that I 3D printed ended up not working because I printed it in PLA, and black PLA, I guess, doesn't do too good under direct sunlight, heat, and in the car. So when my buddy from the bike company, wow, when he started to install it, it was just like melted PLA, right? It was just completely wonky. Let's see. John is waiting for us to accept. I think he's using the wrong link.
He's the old link.
Can you guys let him know? So what I ended up doing was resin printing it in ABS resin, or ABS-like resin, already black. And, those pieces, like a giant piece like that I'm printing on my giant resin printer, it's like 86 hours for one piece. So, and then, resin printing always goes longer than it's quoted. So,
for sure. Every print does.
Yeah. So it's still on the printer. I think it's like at 97%. It should be ending, but once that is done printing, that's like production quality, right? It's like super sharp edges, no post-production, no post-processing on it required. It's just like a quick little shot of clear coat, good to go.
And this is supposed to cover the battery?
It's like covering the side of the frame. If you go to Wow Bikes, or oh gosh, I don't want to say the wrong site, wowbike.com, and look at the Cyberbike, you'll see the piece on there. And then I mentioned it earlier at the top of the show. So while I was looking into that, because I'm working on another project with them for the future that we'll announce soon. I was looking in how to chrome a 3D print, and Raimi, I found it, and I wish John was here because he's like the chrome master.
I'm listening.
I know, but I want John to hear it. I want John to hear it
any second.
He'll be in a second. I sent him the link.
Hello, John.
This is where we need like the Death Star elevator music. Just play that background Tonga Hut song.
Oh yeah. What floor shall I take you?
John has Riverside open in other tabs. Ask John to close all other browser tabs.
Shut up, Riverside.
Go home, Riverside. You're drunk.
Jeez.
Riverside's our friend. What's up, John?
We're just waiting for John's upload to catch up.
Oh, there it goes. 41. 42.
Welcome to the
38.
Bad Batch
What the?
podcast.
Yeah, something ain't right.
This was
How'd the
podcast
workbench go?
video we would have.
Yeah, this is our version of elevator music while we wait for all this to work.
I paused Workbench because there was something I wanted to tell you about.
Or John.
At least you got good music. Wow. What's up, everybody, in IG Live now?
Are we still waiting for it to upload?
Oh, I was just enjoying the music.
Oh, we're good. We're good now. Okay.
Oh.
All right.
It's
So anyway,
68. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
So anyway, this new process of chroming 3D prints that I found it on YouTube. I'll send out the link on our socials. But basically, what it is you guys know the graphite method of doing like a Mando helmet, right? Like you get that graphite powder,
Yeah.
and you like polish it
Over black gloss. Yeah.
Well, that's if you're trying to like gloss it, right? But they actually make graphite spray paint. And the graphite spray paint, it's not meant to be glossy or anything. It's just meant to paint like a graphite shell. So because it is it's sort of conductive. Basically what you do is you can spray paint this helmet with the graphite, and then that allows you to dip it in a nickel plating solution, and then once you get the nickel on there, then you can do other forms of metal like gold plating or silver plating, whatever you want. Go ahead, Remy.
I've watched a YouTube video that's what you're describing.
Mm-hmm. And it's
so I bet I've seen the same thing.
It's super inexpensive because this guy just does it like in a plastic bucket. He does it with like 12-volt car battery, and the chemicals that he's using are just like, I mean,
interesting,
are inexpensive also.
Yeah.
But if you're just going for the chrome look, then you don't need to go anything past the nickel plating, because once it's nickel plated, you can just polish it. You're good to go.
Yeah. Interesting.
So there's that.
Cool.
Yeah. I actually did a troop not terribly long ago, and Gordon Tarpley was C-3PO at the event, and I was talking to him about all of this too. So, and he sent me some stuff, and I haven't had a chance to really dig into it and look, but I do want to look at what he sent me too. Once I've kind of wrapped my head around some process, then we're gonna blow the doors off of this thing and Chrome knowledge for the world, right? But I want to understand it and make sure that what we're talking about is solid. So,
well, you're the rocket scientist, so when it deals with chemicals and stuff, I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Yeah, chemistry wasn't part of my specialty. Just saying, but
well, like
I wasn't propulsion.
Chemical A, chemical B, rocket go boom. There you go.
He goes high.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, John, you dropped those guitars off at Schecter, right?
Oh, yeah.
I sure did. Yeah. So I stopped by yesterday and took 4. Yeah, yours, mine, Ramey's, and Mike's. And
right.
It was funny. And I also took my dogs. So when my buddy Adam went to take the guitars, I stayed back with the dogs. So when Adam came back, he was like, dude, it's so funny. Because the guy that lacquers stuff, he's always like, well, what is this? So he was asking Adam, like, well, what's this guitar? And he's like, I don't know, dude. He's like, well, how did he do this? Like, I assume he was talking about Ramey's routing stuff. And he's like, I don't know, dude. And he's like, well, what is this one? And he's like, well, I don't know. and he kept asking, like, back, like, well, what is this supposed to be? Like, well, what part of it, and whatever. It was super funny the way he said it. But yeah, so those should be ready in a couple days, either tomorrow or the next day. They should be set up. The lacquer, I think, takes a day to like cure, and then they just set it up in like 20 minutes. Like they install everything. You know?
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's like they're good. I sat through it once. I'm like, okay, let's see, and they're like, popping stuff on and solder a wire. That's it. Boom, boom. They have stuff like pre-assembled, whatever. Super
It's like
cool.
a pit stop crew.
Yeah. It's like it's not an assembly line, but it's like they're like pros. They're pros. They know what they're doing completely.
Do we know how we're going to give these away at Mosh Isley? Have we figured that
Kind
out?
of up to us. No. So I was trying to decide because we have one of the guitars that they gave us, which is like a high-end guitar that we're supposed to somehow give away, and we have our guitars, which are not as expensive. They're a little more on the lower side, but they're still cool. They're custom painted by all of us, and fun. And they work. They're real guitars.
Functional
They're
guitars, yeah.
They're real guitars. Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we can choose like our favorite, each person's favorite costumer or something
Find a
along
way.
those lines.
You guys want to raise
You know what I'm
funds?
saying?
So
Well,
I think
for the nice
My-
one, I wanted to
my
raise
2
some
cents.
funds.
Yeah, I think the nice one we hold back and do something at the
Chrome
beginning
Tono?
at
Okay.
the beginning of season 2 or something like that. And we can come up with that.
Chrome Tono 2?
But the
Yeah,
4 that we did for the event, we'll keep those for the event, and we'll do like what John was saying. Like
Yeah.
our favorite
We'll pick our
costumers
favorite people or something.
Somebody that's particularly excited about it or something like that. We'll see.
Okay.
I like what you're
let's do
saying,
that,
Joe.
then.
That could be the first. First
Giveaway.
item into the Chrome Tono 2.
Chrome Tono 2.
Dang. Imagine
Can we
that.
announce the Chrome Tono 2 yet? I don't think we can announce that
We
yet.
can do whatever we want, man.
We can do it. We can.
It's going to need to be a Chrome YT 1300 if we keep putting stuff in it like this. So
Yeah, it's going to be a full-on freighter.
Dude, NATO Potato got a lot of stuff, man. That guy.
Are we still
got a
sending?
lot
Is he
of
still
stuff.
receiving things?
Dude, it took all.
He was recently still posting.
yeah, he's
was
still
still posting
stretching
stuff
out the
recently.
posts.
We finally get
For
to
sure.
meet him at Mosh Isley. I'm excited.
Nice.
That's right.
Finally,
That's right. Yep.
we're gonna get to see a lot of.
He'll probably be
people,
wearing
a lot of
something.
faces that we've yet to.
Yeah.
It'll be good. Yeah.
It's going to be great.
I liked your commercial, your
decide-
Mosh
oh.
Isley commercial, John.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, yeah. So that's what I wanted to...
Could you
Do it
do,
right now.
could you do the voice for me
do
real
it right
quick?
now.
Okay.
Do it right now.
Mosh Isley. Yeah, that's it's basically...
Mosh Isley.
Mosh Isley.
There
I
it
don't even
is.
know what accent. Brian was making fun of me. He's like, I recognize 3 accents in there. I'm like, all right.
It reminded me of
No, yeah.
Mega Man, Megamind.
But Megamind, hey, all right.
the blue
It's
one.
like
That guy's
it's like
famous.
an old Atlantic. Like you could be on the Titanic with that accent.
Yeah, well, I was trying to invoke a little bit of what's his name, Hux, when he does that crazy speech.
Oh, when he's
Over
screaming.
circular base, with all the troops. Yeah, where he's kind of doing the whole thing. It was kind of a little bit of that, but more subdued and sort of OT, whatever. So I wanted to see, because I'm trying to decide if I should wear that costume, if that's worthy enough to walk around Mosh Isley as that guy, or if I should just be a stormtrooper. So I want to do a poll on the
think
Dad
you might-
Batch post.
I'm going to have the TK, but I'm probably not going to have the guitar around my neck, dude. My TK is going to get jacked up.
That's what I'm saying. So that's my concern, because these guitars
They're heavy.
Are supposedly they're guitars. Yeah, they're
heavy.
solid wood bodies, and I don't know if we want them slapping on our white armor.
I do not want my white armor.
I've already
Which
solved.
is-
Solved for that. Not going to be a problem for me.
Yeah.
Well, he hasn't shared
chrome on
that-
chrome.
That's solved with us.
No.
Yeah, it's gonna blend,
Can you see where the guitar ends and I begin?
and Din begins. Yeah.
You're gonna look like
No,
one of
so-
the. You're gonna look like the old C-3PO Topps card.
I understood that reference. I'm not going there.
Anyway, so I wanted to know what the listeners think, and I want to see if we can do a poll on the Dad Batch. If I should wear the TK or that officer.
But
Get
you're,
it,
but
send
you're
me
talking
two
about
photos, John.
but you're talking about like during
all night.
But there are times where you need to be in the TK.
Really?
There are scripted things that you need to be in the TK for.
It's a
Oh, really?
15-minute change out. That's not that bad. It's fast.
It is quick too. I could bring it, wear it for the thing, and then, yeah. But I'm trying to have some fun. Let some people choose.
I'm already sweating.
Or maybe no one gives a shit. Yeah, you know what? It is hot.
It's gonna be hot
right now. Yeah, it's gonna be super hot. We'll see.
Hey, Raimi.
Hey, Steven.
We're being hailed. This encryption's new. This might take a while.
Okay, some of this might be a rehash if you were able to listen to the live stream the other day, because about half the news is new and half of it is what we covered at the event. But we're going to go over it again just in case. So starting off with some of the new stuff, so Bob Iger has extended his contract. Well, the Disney board has voted unanimously to extend Bob Iger's contract through the end of 2026. So he'll be there. He's they're very pleased with his ability to find cost-cutting measures, and although and I agree with this, like the timing of the announcement was kind of bad.
Like with Star Cruiser and stuff, or
with all of this, with all the Writers Guild stuff that was going on. There was some press around Disney being part of a group of studios, and some quotes that came out of those conversations that basically implied that the studios were quite happy to just let the writers starve to death. Wait till they come crawling back, kind of a thing. They're prepared to wait
pretty
until
gnarly.
October. They're prepared to wait until October or longer.
That's way bigger than
the quote was. We'll wait until they start getting evicted from their apartments or losing their houses, and then they'll come back. Now, no clue who said that, which studio it was from. There were multiple studios: Netflix, Warner Brothers, Disney, all of them. They were all there, so no clue who said that. But to announce a contract extension for a CEO on the same day that quote leaks out is probably a bad move. But yeah. So Emmy nominations came out, and I'll be honest, the list is so long. I'm going to kind of just go through it quickly. Andor got Emmy nominations for Outstanding Drama Series, Outstanding Original Main Title Theme Music, Outstanding Cinematography for a Series, Outstanding Directing for a Drama Series, Outstanding Music Composition, Outstanding Sound Editing, Outstanding Special Visual Effects, and Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series. Now, there are episodic names attached to a lot of those. So like Rick's Road, which was obviously a great episode, several of those were attached to that. Obi-Wan Kenobi got a handful of nominations as well. Outstanding Limited or Anthology Series, Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes, Outstanding Picture Editing for a Limited or Anthology Series, Outstanding Sound Editing for a Limited or Anthology Series, Outstanding Sound Mixing for a Limited or Anthology Series. We've got some Mandalorian ones. Now, Pedro Pascal didn't get nominated directly for anything related to The Mandalorian, but he did get nominated for lead actor for The Last of Us. But The Mandalorian itself, got nominations for Outstanding Cinematography for a Series. Interestingly enough, this one specifically calls out half-hour shows, because I think one of the other ones that I already named was like the same category, but for 1 hour. Andor got the same thing, but for 1 hour format, whereas they tagged The Mandalorian as a half-hour show for that purpose, which was interesting. Outstanding Fantasy Sci-Fi Costumes for a particular episode, Outstanding Period and or Character Hairstyling, Outstanding Period and or Character Makeup, Outstanding Sound Editing, Outstanding Sound Mixing, Outstanding Special Visual Effects, Stunt Coordination, Stunt Performance, all of those. Lateef Crowder's named in the Stunt Performance category as part of it too. So yeah, good to see his name show up there. So we'll keep our eye on the Emmys and see what plays out there.
Outstanding.
Yeah, every single category name was out. I should have just started saying, all right, these are all outstanding, so let's just get to the subtitles.
Yeah. It's all good.
EA has posted 3 new job listings for their Star Wars team, all specifically intended to work with Respawn, which is the pairing that produced the Jedi Survivor and Jedi Fallen Order games.
Order and Survivor, yeah.
Yeah. So the 3 titles for the positions that they're opening up is Senior Combat Designer, Senior VFX Artist, which says VFX, but it actually reads as an audio gig, and then Principal Game Writer. So game director Stig Asmussen also mentioned in an interview that he did with IGN that he's always envisioned this as a trilogy. I always wanted to see this as a trilogy. How can we take Cal and the crew to new places beyond what we were doing in the first game? We had a pretty decent idea of time frame, where we wanted Survivor to take place, what the stakes were going to be, what the tone of the game was going to be, what Cal was going to be up against, and how the crew was going to factor into that. And then there's ideas of what we could do beyond that as well. So I think between these positions being added to the team and this quote, I think that they're all but confirming we're going to get a third Jedi game, Star Wars Jedi game.
Sounds like it, right? I mean, trending.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into some of the stuff that we covered at the Tonga Hut event the other night. So Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con starts 1 week from tonight. I think 1 week from right now they'll be opening the door. We'll be inside, hopefully, getting body checked by all the security people and whatever. Wanted to do a rundown on Star Wars content that we've got. For the most part, it's panels. On Thursday, there was nothing on the schedule listed for Star Wars specific content, but Friday is Star Wars Day. Now, every one of the events that I'm about to list, they start at 10 a.m. and they run through every hour throughout the day, all the way to 8 p.m. Every single one of these is in room 7AB. So if you go into the convention center, go up to the mezzanine level, like the bigger rooms, so 6, B, C, and F are one of them. 7AB is one of the rooms that's like right across from that. And this is where all of the Star Wars content is for that day. So we've got, starting again at 10 a.m., the Star Wars musical universe with Lucasfilm and EA games. So this one showcases video game music. So we've got Lucasfilm Limited's high-end Star Wars collectibles. So that's where you'll see things from Sideshow, Hot Toys, Kotobukiya, Gentle Giant, companies like that. Then at noon, there's one titled Star Wars Memories. This one is being the panelists are like former Lucasfilm employees that are like now long since retired, basically telling old war stories. So this one actually sounded pretty interesting. At 1, we've got Lucasfilm Publishing's panel, Stories from a Galaxy Far, Far Away. Then we've got Hasbro's Star Wars panel, and I do expect we're going to get a HasLab announcement at that panel. So, and we'll get into that in a minute in our next little bit of news after this. After that, we've got Star Wars trading card collecting, Star Wars past, present, and future, Star Wars fandom in the immersive frontier, Galaxy's Edge, Galactic, Starcruiser, and beyond. And I think this one is, the panelists on this one are from the Heroes of the Halcyon, right? I think we mentioned that the other day. I think that's the group that's putting that one on. At 6 p.m. is the 501st Legion's Star Wars Villainous Costuming panel. At 7, there's a panel called Star Wars Andor, Making a Rebel, Making a Rebellion, that's got some of the folks that were involved in Andor as panelists. And then at 8 p.m. is Star Wars Trivia Challenge Strikes Back. So again, that's everything I just listed is basically in sequence, starting at 10 a.m., 1 hour blocks, all the way to 8 p.m. in room 7AB. On Saturday at 10 a.m. in the Omni Hotel in the Grand Ballroom on the 4th floor, there's a Star Wars trivia game panel taking place. And then at 12:30, back in the Convention Center, room 29C and D, Jazzwares is doing a panel covering Pokemon, Squishmallows, Star Wars, AEW, and more. And then at 5:15 p.m. in room 6B, C, and F. Now, this is a big room. It's not as big as Hall F, but this is a decent-sized room. This is the panel room that we saw the Clone Wars Saved panel in several years ago, right? So to give you an idea of the scale of the room. So this is titled Star Wars Outlaws, Becoming the Galaxy's Most Wanted. So that will be their big game content panel for that. Lucasfilm's going to have their normal Lucasfilm Pavilion down on the show floor that we're all used to seeing. I know that I don't have any confirmation of what it's going to look like, but I know that they're particularly excited about it. So I read that to mean that it's new, whatever it is. So I think that they've got something new that they're going to be showing off there. So looking forward to that. Thursday night over at the Hyatt Hotel is the Her Universe Fashion Show. They hand out wristbands for this at like 1 p.m. So you've got to go over there, get your wristband. Then you can kind of leave. And then you want to get back maybe 4 o'clock to get in line, because where you are in the line kind of gives you where your seat's going to be inside. So I know at least a few of us are going to be there in various capacities. So come say hi. And then Friday night is Mosh Isley at the Music Box in San Diego. So, and as of right now, tickets are still available at moshisley.com. And I know that all of us here on this episode will be there.
We will all be there.
Yep. You may recognize us. You may not recognize us, but we will all be there.
I got to run, dude, from that 501st panel straight to Mosh, because like our panel ends at I think 7 when Mosh starts, but things really don't kick off till what 7:38, right?
Yeah. It builds up. You're right.
Yeah. So
you're good.
Awesome.
We'll cover you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we've been starting to see kind of, obviously, and we're going to get into even more of it, but again, we talked about this on Sunday, so the hype train for Ahsoka's starting. We've got some merch coming out. We've got pictures of a new Lego set featuring featuring the Ghost, which includes the Phantom 2 and several minifigures. So it's got General Harrison Dula, Chopper, a Mon Calamari named Lieutenant Beta, which I just am amused to no end that they named a fish character Beta. A human officer named First Officer Hawkins, and a Jason Syndulla figure, which the story around him is that, like, when we last saw him in the animation, he had green hair, like his mother's Laku, but the figure has brown, just normal human brown hair. So, whereas in the animation it had looked like they were trying to make him a blend of Kanan and Hera, this time around he seems to look mostly human, at least based on the minifigure. No clue what he looks like in the show, but
different in the age, the figure, is it an older version of the?
It is still a child, because like if you know, for anybody that does Legos, like for little kids, they've got a different set of legs that don't actually move, and they're like really stubby. So this figure has those legs, so it's definitely not an adult. But based on the timeline, it kind of feels like maybe this should be at least a little older, a few years older than what we would have seen in the show. Hard to say. That was all done in, like, that was all kind of at the end in sort of a montage, and they didn't necessarily give you timestamps. So who knows?
Yeah.
So. Okay. One of the higher-ups at Hasbro also teased an image on his Instagram that was in Airbrush that hinted that there was something coming in the Hasbro 3 3/4 scale line. So the Airbrush translated to ship diagnostics complete, laser cannon turret ready, forward cannons ready, rear cannons ready. So there's not a lot of, with the cannons and every ship diagnostics, so it's a ship, that configuration of cannons, there's not a lot of vehicles that we've got that have that configuration. So I think that what he's hinting at here is the Ghost. So what we're hearing, and I expect this to be revealed at Hasbro's panel on Friday, which again is in room 7AB at 2 p.m. on Friday at the convention center. So I think that we're going to get an announcement of a HasLab project. We're hearing that it's like $600, which is a lot. I would expect it's going to be on scale with like the big Millennium Falcon that they did several years ago, hopefully. So it'll probably come with the Phantom 2, since we see the Lego set comes with that one as well. Wouldn't surprise me to see some stretch goals with this that include additional figures and maybe even the Phantom one. I don't know. So we'll see how that goes. Shout out to our boy Hondo Supply, aka Mike Forrester, for something. I wanted to excuse me. He posted something on his Instagram, and I wanted to get into that as part of the news. So work with me here. He if you go look at the Hondo Supply Instagram account, he posted some pictures today in a little slideshow. So Skull and Haiti are two names that show up in like Old Norse mythology.
Yes.
And they are the names of two wolves or wolf-like deities that basically represent the sun and the moon. So they're not mentioned a lot, but they are in the lore. So we've got two wolves in Norse mythology that are named Skull and Haiti. Now, the two Inquisitor type figures that we see in the Ahsoka show is Balin Skull and Shin Haiti.
Skull and Shin Haiti.
So,
this was discussed earlier on when they revealed the character names. Okay. That was like one of the first things they referenced was the two wolves, one who mocks and one who hates, right? Is that correct?
This doesn't. I don't think this says that, but yes.
Okay. Well, the Balin one is the one who mocks, and then the other one is the one who hates or the one who kills. It's one of those. It's something very dark. But yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but that was something like we're all nerds. Not some are more than others, and someone jumped on that like right away. They were like, "Oh, there's a connection," and yeah. So you're spot on, definitely.
So in addition to that, so we've already talked about the fact that it was identified that these two characters have lightsabers that aren't traditional red that would be associated with the Sith, but are more of an orange. And when asked about that, Filoni mentioned, he says, it's good you caught that. Nothing is accidental. So we've got two wolves or characters that are named after wolves, carrying orange lightsabers. So if you look at the mural that Sabine paints at the end of Rebels, and that we know makes an appearance in the show, and they had it on display at Celebration, you've got two wolves, a light one and a dark one. And if you look at their eyes are painted orange. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of parallels here. I mean, it'll be interesting to see where this goes. This business with the wolves and all of that Lothal mythology that was in Rebels and the World Between Worlds and all of it is just this show is dripping with these kind of references. It's crazy, and we haven't even seen it yet.
So, and this is something I just found just by Googling it. It says in Norse mythology, Skull is basically equal to treachery or mockery. And it says, is a wolf that, according to Snorri Sturluson, chases the sun, personified as a goddess, Sol, riding her chariot across the sky. Haiti chases the moon. So they're perpetually in some sort of cycle or some sort of,
Right. And in the World Between Worlds episodes of Rebels, like you see the wolves running in a circle around the glyphs in the artwork and everything, like all of that. So
so they might have access to whatever Ahsoka has access to.
Were they the gatekeepers? Were they the gatekeepers of the World Between Worlds?
Well, I think we get a little bit of a glimpse of the World Between Worlds, or something very reminiscent of it in the trailer that we got this week. If only we were able to play the trailer.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
I started hearing whispers of Thrawn's return as heir to the Empire.
What happens when we find Thrawn?
Power, such as you've never dreamed.
I've spent most of my life fighting a war. That's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. You and I both know who could help you with this.
She she's still just as stubborn as ever.
I bet your master found you difficult at times.
Anakin never got to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked away from Sabine.
You never made things easy for me, Master.
As a Jedi, sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Nice haircut. Sometimes we have to do what's right, regardless of our personal feelings.
Buckle up.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain. You have no power.
Anakin spoke highly of you.
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Okay.
Wow.
There's a lot to unpack in there. So let's do a trailer breakdown right now. So okay, we've got the trailer.
Got this new shuttle that we haven't seen before, but is similar looking to shuttle. It's a shuttle, clearly.
Inquisitor, probably.
See.
Towards like a rebel-looking ship.
So now we could see that the shuttle that we just saw is not the shuttle that's here behind Balin.
No.
Balin is talking to what looks like Rebel Fleet Troopers?
Rebel Fleet Troopers, yeah.
Okay.
He's probably trying to make some sort of deal, or
Ooh,
like,
look at that Rebel,
this is what's
look
going
at
to
that
happen.
Rebel, that Mon Cal Fleet Trooper right there.
Mon Cal.
Oh, there it is.
That's awesome.
We can see that this lightsaber that's igniting in the foreground, this is...
He's about to slice our fishy friend in half.
Okay, but this is...
That's
the girl, right?
That's Hati.
Hati.
Shin Hati.
Okay.
Shit hot tea.
Shin. Yeah, because boom. Look at
It's
that.
hot.
Down. Dusted.
Yeah.
Oof.
Okay.
These guys go flying.
Is that the blaster from Mando? He's got in his hand?
No, it's an A180.
Yep.
No, this one is. But this one in the back.
Nope.
That's
The
a
ones-
DH-17, and then that's
Correct.
an
Okay.
A180.
The Jin Erso
do you
one,
even
right?
Star Wars?
Yes. Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Do you even Star Wars, bro? I got 720p, man. I could see that from here.
Let me know when your internet loads.
Oh, snap.
Dang.
Yeah, with no
Okay.
internet, I can still tell.
So
How
he
you
says
doing?
here he says, we are no Jedi, right? Then he stabs this dude with his orange lightsaber.
So I do think so. Going back to the descriptions that John gave for the two Norse gods, I think like this Balin one, he seems to be a little more slower moving and methodical, and whereas she's already like there's a scene here like he's doing this to this guy right now, and she's already halfway down the hall. Like you see her, like she's in the background, like just plowing through people. So she's
It's like good cop, bad cop. Like,
she's a
he'll
live
talk to
wire.
you,
Yeah,
and she's just killing everyone.
I almost expect we'll have to see him sort of holding her back at certain points because of that, which fits with some of the description that you were given, John, of the Norse gods too.
Yeah, I read it a little while back, and it totally made sense.
See, he's
And
just
now it makes
dealt with
more
that. She's already gone.
Yeah, she's down the
Got
hall.
Ahsoka. We've seen this before in a previous trailer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, now what is this? This is like an old Jedi.
But it has the hand position like
so
the father.
you remember the mortis? It looks like the mortis
Oh yeah, this
wall.
is like a
a
mortis
little bit.
thing? Yeah.
It looks like the mortis wall with the hand.
The hand going like that. Yeah.
Yeah, see her hands up. There's a circular thing which probably has to align or something.
Behind the head. Yeah.
Of Thrawn's return.
No, in
Yeah.
the center on her chest.
We've got the back shot of Thrawn. We've seen this before.
Yep.
I almost think, okay, so is he walking towards his like little throne that he's got like
Looks
from the
old
illustrations?
Yeah, it looks like it.
That's cool.
heir to
Yeah, I
the
think they're
Empire.
including stuff
Okay,
from the
so
old
now
comic.
We're
we've
at
got
Stonehenge.
Skull and Hati.
Stonehenge.
They're walking to Stonehenge.
Balin, and yeah, it's like a
What happens when we find
world
Thrawn?
between worlds.
Okay, so now we've got Balin and Hati, and they're talking to what's her name?
The
Her.
shoot,
I'm drawing a blank right now. I'm
Bruce
sorry.
Lee's niece.
Yeah, that is. It's like she's like a magistrate or something like
The
that.
magistrate. That's it. Yeah.
Now
We're
look at
terrible.
this next bit. Like there's. Do you see at the bottom that green flame?
Yes.
The only other place we see that kind of imagery with like that green flame is with the Night Sisters.
Night Sister magic.
Yeah, well, isn't she a Night Sister? That was the whole thing. She is a Night Sister.
Is she? Do we know that for sure?
That's what. That wasn't that a
sure
thing?
seems. I don't
When
know.
she
When
showed
was that
up?
ever confirmed?
I don't know they've ever said that out loud, but I think we've
Dude,
heard
because
it.
she's from Dathomir. Wait. Hold on. I thought this was established.
Morgan.
That this lady is a Night Sister.
Morgan Elsbeth.
Morgan.
Was that not established? Am I tripping out?
Correct team, Joe.
Hold on.
I'm on it. Let me see.
Oh, Joe, are you live right now? Jeez Louise.
He is, yes.
Now the cool thing is that we see here she's using this magic to activate this Stonehenge thing,
Such as you.
and it's like a map of
Which-
world
Between
between
Worlds.
worlds, right?
Yeah, I assume this is just one of the many portal entries to
It's like a gateway or
to
something,
it. Yeah,
right?
exactly. And she's able to activate it.
Never
They probably need her to get it started. Yeah. Ooh, Republic.
Oh, dude, so good.
And then, hey, hold on. And did you notice her lightsaber? Do you know whose lightsaber that looks like? The design is almost just like Kanan's. It has a shroud, and it has that like sort of one-sided.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know,
I see. That's
the
there's
emitter.
a good shot right there. Yeah.
Yep, there's a good shroud there. Yep. Yeah, so it's got very Kanan Jarrus vibes, even though I'm sure it's not connected because lightsabers look like lightsabers. But I like that. That was a cool little.
Got a fleet of ships here.
Yep.
So just reading up on if she is, it was not confirmed. The heritage was not revealed in the episode, but the actor's hairstylist in the series revealed that Morgan was one of the last survivors of Dathomir, but it's still not
There
clear.
you go. Yeah, see, that was not. Yeah. I remember that from season 2 or 3. Whenever she showed up, yeah, she was one of the last Dathomirian survivors. Yeah.
All right, here we got our first shot of Hera in the trailer. We've seen this before, right?
We have this, yes.
There's that patch. Yep.
From Obi-Wan and Anakin's fleet.
And this
And
looks
she's
to be like
driving, or the Phantom, right?
Looks like
That's-
Phantom.
That's the Phantom number 2.
Phantom 2.
Gotta be, right?
Yeah.
she's chasing some sort of, what is this, an escape pod or something? It's being carried by one of these
sort of-
walker carriers.
Yeah. Oh no.
Oh, wait.
Chopper.
Gotta go back.
There's Chopper. There's everybody's
Chop.
favorite terrorist.
Dude, Chopper looks so
Seriously.
good. Raimi,
He
did they
looks
add
so
this piece?
good.
Yeah. That's
This light up piece on his
Yeah, and there's way more segments on that thing. Like I got a good still of that, and I was going to count how many little segments there are in there. I think my Chopper, which is animated based, only has like I don't know, like a 10 or so lights tops. There's way more than that there.
Mm-hmm.
Just all the details, like his eyes. There's just everything's just got more fidelity, more
I
detail.
want to see his top dish rotate. That'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, but you can tell even here, like his head has the wobble, like
yeah.
Even here, like the ring around the top of just above his shoulders is tilted to the side. So Chopper's, part of his animation style was that he could like wobble his head and like have those head movements.
He's always angry.
Clearly,
did you guys get a chance to take a look at the animated, the animated Chopper toy that they had at Celebration? It's like
Oh.
I'd say it's probably like maybe about 10 inches tall, but it's like an animatronic chopper.
Oh man,
that, like does all this kind of moving and talks.
Didn't
and all
Ashley
that.
Fountain post about it? Like she was like, "This is awesome." Do you remember that? No, I remember that.
I saw it at Celebration at the Hasbro booth. But what was funny is one of the sounds that it makes is Chopper going bop, bop, bop. And like if you know what who the voice is and what they say, I couldn't believe that they added that in there. Wop, wop, wop.
Yep. Dave.
That's why I'm trying to.
Okay, cool. So we've got Hera talking to some holograms on here.
Council.
Mon Mothma being the main one.
Mothma's right in the middle. Do we know who these other ones are?
Nope.
Dignitaries. Oh,
Help me.
there's a Moncal pilot back there. Looks great.
How good does Hera look? Right?
Like her eyes.
Green eyes.
Her eyes are very vibrant. Yeah.
They're very bright. I do wish they had left the details on her Montrals or Leku.
Yeah. Maybe it's on the backside.
No, it's not. They're just solid green from every angle, and I don't know why they lost that detail.
Prevent another one.
Dang, Mom Mothma up and everything.
Oh, dude, look at the back of her jacket.
Yeah,
That's nice.
it's got the ghost, the symbol from the ghost, which
What
we
else
actually don't see the ghost in this trailer at all, do we?
So we got Ahsoka. I didn't notice this before. We got Ahsoka walking down her ship.
Yeah, meeting up.
Oh, and look who's with Ahsoka.
Mando?
No, that's
it's the droid.
That makes the
That's
saber.
the droid. Yeah.
My screen's a little small. I can't see.
She's
So good. This is from the last shot in Rebels too, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the same shot.
That's
still just
Lethal.
as stubborn as
We get our first clear shot at Sabine in this trailer.
I love
With
her hair.
Long hair. Yeah.
It's like yeah. Looks
What do
good.
they call it? An ombre?
No, but the
How many
One, two,
cosplayers do you
three,
think are actually
four.
going to commit to this and like do the actual dye?
A million.
This hair.
There'll be some. There'll be some.
It looks
for
good.
Sure.
It looks
There's
good.
gonna be a lot.
Yep.
Guarantee
Yeah.
It's gonna be.
It does look good.
I hope so.
A lot.
I hope so. If this becomes just like a new style, just like in the zeitgeist of like pop culture, I'm down for it. I like it.
Hey, yeah.
ever.
I mean, there's a lot of people that already do that. Yeah.
So
The same highway on Lethal.
Yeah.
Ezra would do the run, and all the rebels
Yep.
would do.
So that helmet is straight out of the sequel trilogy. So like at the beginning of The Last Jedi, when they're doing their bombing run on the big dreadnought, Rose's sister, I think, is wearing one of these, or some of the pilots are wearing one of these helmets, and then this exact helmet is in like the visual guide from that film, with the same letters, even the same battle damage, minus the Lothcat artwork that she added to it. So
that's Sabine.
Does that mean that she wore it first now, canonically, and then
Apparently,
they somehow brought it to the fleet, and that's who someone wore it down the line?
Yeah, but if you look at the picture in the visual guide, every single scratch and ding and battle damage, it's identical.
same.
They literally pulled that prop out of the warehouse and
They
put
probably
it on her.
thought no one will notice. No one will know where
Yeah.
this is from.
Raimi-
And it's
Raimi
well,
will.
yeah.
I've
Yeah,
got the
there it
3D
is.
files for that helmet, by the way.
Anakin never got
Already.
to finish my training. I walked away from him, just like I walked
This
away
is a
from
big
Sabine.
reveal.
You never made things easy for me.
This.
Wait,
That
hold
too.
on. We got to go back
But
to that.
Two
Dude.
things. So that's cool. Raimi, you can talk about that. Oh, what? Where are we going? Speed bike.
Oh,
And
sorry.
this is a parallel right here. The speeder bike, because that's Ezra, like season 1.
Yeah,
That's
and
how
it's
they
that
find
same
him.
style of speeder bike that we saw in Rebels. The McCory
It's on the
speeder
same
bike.
street. It's the same
Yeah.
street too.
Shoom.
Yeah. So
There we go.
The droid.
Big old eyeball.
You want to talk about this droid, Raimi?
So that dome, we only see the dome here, but that dome matches aesthetically to the old 1977, 78 Kenner R2-D2 action figure. Like
these little cutouts.
Yep. Yes. The little teardrop cutouts around the eyes. Like it wasn't like that toy didn't match R2-D2 because they were basing the toy. They had to build the toys before the movie was done, and so none of it actually matched quite right. So, but that dome is what we're seeing right here. It's identical. So good.
It's a nice tribute.
Yeah.
And that reveal. So, for those who just heard, Sabine calls Ahsoka Master, which implies what? Let's see. You guys put
that
it together?
She's from Tatooine and she's not a slave. She's a person.
Yes. Bingo. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to spoil anything.
Or she's making a condescending Jedi reference.
She could be
to Ahsoka.
She could be, and she is in a.
There's clearly some tension. There's clearly some tension between the two of them.
Well, she said she left her. So wait. So now you just made me think. There's two things. Either Ahsoka is Sabine's master, and Sabine is training to be a Jedi, or she's being sarcastic.
Right.
And
two options.
That's it.
Right.
And knowing Sabine, she's probably sarcastic.
Which interestingly enough, like to call Ahsoka Master when she had clearly walked away from the Jedi Order, it's almost like calling Anakin Master when they never gave him the rank. Right. When they never gave him the rank of Master.
But Sabine's got some big old balls on her. You know,
she just pulled a Mace Windu.
She's a Mandalorian. Yeah.
Big old balls.
Big old balls. And she's got a lightsaber too. So.
I know. I'm gonna go with the latter on this one because Ahsoka don't look happy when she says that.
No,
she's gonna be a Jedi. The only reason why I think so is because Kanan already trained her to use a lightsaber, or the dark. You know, the dark saber's a lightsaber for those who don't remember.
Yeah, he did. Yep.
So I think there's something there.
Now, is this voiceover?
And even Ezra. No, I think it's the actual new actor.
That's the most we're going to see him, huh? I don't think it's about Ezra at all. That's probably the most we're going to see Ezra.
Sometimes you have to make the decision no one else can. But I'm counting on you to see this through.
Go ahead, John.
So, this moment right here is very symbolic because the person I was just talking about who trained her with the lightsaber does the same exact thing when he realizes his
calling.
Exactly. What he has to do. When he realizes, he cuts his long hair, he goes back to his real identity as a Jedi, as Caleb Doom. So this is what I think Sabine is symbolically here becoming who she has to be. Because what I assume is like she's been gone a while, the training stopped, and she's kind of been bumming around and doing her own thing, not doing what she's supposed to do. And this is her kind of coming back to that calling and stepping up to the plate in a way. I think. I think that's what happens.
Dude, it's like the montage of that old baseball player with the grown beard, and somebody says, "You need to go back and play," and then the montage, he shaves his beard and gets out the glove, starts oiling the glove and getting ready, and she's coming back. She's coming back.
Yeah.
She should have short hair.
This is exactly it's exactly what happens in Rebels. It's exactly what happens in Rebels. And Filoni
good parallel.
Did this for those, for the people that watch.
Oh, for sure.
Because a lot of people are going to watch this for the first time and not realize that connection, and it's still going to make sense to them, and they're going to love it. But this is for the people that did give a crap.
Yeah, any listeners that listen to this show that have not seen Rebels, it's not too late. Highly encourage you to go back.
You should. Yeah.
Get through it. Don't worry about it being a kids show, because guess what? All of this is for kids, I think. But just enjoy it and just take it in. There's a lot you don't want to miss out on if you're just watching Ahsoka.
I think they've all but confirmed that this is essentially just Rebel Season 5.
It's Rebel Season 5, yeah.
Yeah, they did. Rosario Dawson said that she had heard Dave say it.
Go back to the helmet.
Dude, that background. Look at all of it.
Background's great. But if you can, yeah, okay. So, shout out to Marcus Napuri, good friend of the podcast, good friend of ours. He hand sculpted this helmet for the show. This is Sabine's brand new sculpt that he did for the show.
Nice.
So shout out to Marcus. So proud of you. This is, look at his legacy is already on screen. There it is.
Right, and it's I love that it's not just a repaint of Bo-Katan's helmet or Costco Reeves. It's not.
It's literally a brand new helmet.
Brand new, yeah. You can tell it's different.
Yeah. Look at the ears. Everything's different. Yep.
Yeah,
it's like a mix of live action and animated.
Yeah, the cheeks aren't as deep as they are on the Night Owl helmets. It's more just like a cylinder. Yep.
Nice haircut.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Dude, that wall in the back, man. That's the exact same
the
wall.
Mural. It's a mural from Rebels. Yeah.
Exact same.
They crushed it.
Like to the T.
And we saw it at Celebration. It was at Celebration. Did you catch it?
It was at London. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing.
Oh, wait, we got to go back to that
We've
one.
seen this part.
The new Inquisitor.
Taking on two at the same time. Ahsoka, what is this, like a
yeah, but one's a droid. That's like a droid, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like one of the HK droids like we saw with, what's her name?
Yes.
In
one of those like Guardian or bodyguard droids or whatever. Yeah.
And then we got confirmation who this person is under the mask for the Inquisitor.
So that Inquisitor is the same stunt actor that was one of the Mandos, like one of the covert Mandos from the show.
Right.
From The Mandalorian.
But no, I think there was a name given for the Inquisitor's name.
Like Merrick? Was it Merrick? Something like that. No.
Keep in mind, there's lots of characters in Star Wars that have different names. Like Kylo Ren is not like Ben Solo and Kylo Ren is the same person and yet two different names. I suspect that this Inquisitor has a different name as well.
Oh, you think this is someone under the mask? Wait, are you implying that's Ezra?
I didn't say that.
So how come no one's talked about this freaking Purrgil? Come on.
Yeah, there's Purrgil.
I mean, like everyone's like,
Purrgil.
oh, look at Thrawn, look at this, look at Sabine, guys.
Live action Purrgil.
It's the Purrgil.
Well, we saw
That's
that
it.
with the Mando season 3 at the beginning, right? With Grogu looking over and seeing the shadow.
Yeah.
Now, is this Ahsoka's Mando gear?
She's not wearing Mando gear.
I think it's just
No,
maybe her
it might be her
jumpsuit.
Jedi gear.
Oh no, this is like this looks like some sort of yeah, this looks like some sort of like
sure.
jumpsuit
from Amazon,
space suit, water suit, some sort of thing like that. Which would make sense because space whales, right? Oh, and they're shooting against someone with this Purrgil. See if I can get it. So someone's chasing them. This looks to be like Balin's
That's a
ship.
different type of ship. Oh,
No
must
idea.
be. Yeah, it's rounded. You're right. It's got some round elements.
If we don't stop Thrawn,
Ooh.
If we don't stop Thrawn.
Wait. Go back. Sabine,
Look
she
at
wearing
that.
an Imperial type.
No, it's just her undersuit. That's her
That's
Mando.
an undersuit?
Well,
Yeah, it's her
That's not
Mando.
she has
Got
it.
the double sleeve.
Oh,
She
I
did go to
see
the
it, I see it
academy. She did go to the
I see it
academy.
now.
No,
See the
it's just-
sleeve?
it's just
I
her
think
Mando.
that's just her Mando
Yeah,
undersuit.
see the
yeah.
sleeve? Yeah.
Thrawn.
I thought I saw the choker collar.
So this is the image of Thrawn that we saw at the Celebration exclusive trailer. They've now released it to the public. Lars Mikkelsen, face on screen.
Just want to hear him talk.
He's got the glowing red eyes. You know what? We got kind of like there's been some internet hoopla about his uniform here. It's not firmly pressed. He's got a lot of wrinkles
we don't know
on
what
this
he's been
thing.
through.
It's
Never
true.
know. And also, this is a preview. This might not even be the final like VFX. They might clean them up. You never know.
And one thing that a lot of people are missing out on this shot of Thrawn is they're not looking at the background. What do we see in the background right here?
Some kind of trooper.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like maybe a stormtrooper faceplate with a different color going on.
Yeah, but it almost looks like the dome and the back skirt look normal with the brown or with the black trim around the brow, but then the face looks like it's a different color. Almost like it almost looks gold.
Maybe it's gold, yeah.
It is gold.
You have
so this moment right there. Okay, so did you hear what she said? I don't know if my internet's all weird and yes. So Hati tells Sabine, "You have no power." I assume.
Wait, is Sabine doing a force push?
Yes. But she has no power. So I assume. I don't know if she's either trying to gain her power or she must have lost her confidence in the way Jedis do on their journeys to becoming great, you know? So either she doesn't have any. So it could go either way. She either has no power at all, or she has she lacks the confidence to tap into the power.
Use the force, Sabine.
Yeah,
and this is where Kanan appears, right, as a force ghost
behind her.
Use the force, Sabine.
I don't think he sounds like that.
The new Obi-Wan and Luke. Absolutely.
Bad.
It's totally Freddie Prinze Jr. as a force ghost.
You have no power.
Hey.
Ooh. Green lightsaber against orange lightsaber.
She can wield a saber though.
Love it.
Okay, so we were talking. You guys are talking about that this dude's like a wolf or something, but then he's talking about Anakin spoke very highly of you to Ahsoka. Now we know that the timeline. This is concurrent with Mando season 3. They have confirmed that. But when did this
he
dude
might have
ever
been an established Jedi back in the day because he's older, so he must have been around. And he defected when Order 66 happened. He became either a Dark Jedi. He's not a Sith Lord, obviously. He's a Dark Jedi or just someone who is a dark side user. The way Ahsoka's not a Jedi, he's not a Jedi, but it's light and dark type of thing.
So this dude's definitely from pre-Order 66, right?
Yes, they both are. He was a master and the girl was the apprentice, and they both defected.
Who spoke highly of you?
I'm not here to discuss my past.
We have a lot of work to do.
Once a rebel, always a rebel.
Woo! Wait, what?
What Mando is that?
Oh, that's Sabine.
Oh, it's Sabine. Okay, cool.
Wait, is she...
Once a rebel,
Does she not have gloves on?
She has fingerless gloves. Or she used to.
Yeah, it's her sleeves come down and loop around the palm of her hand and her thumb sticks through. Like, you know how like some of those shirts have like a hole for your thumb? It's like her sleeves are like that. So it doesn't like even her knuckles are exposed, no fingers.
Is that the planet where the magistrate was in charge of?
It kind of looks like it. Looks like it. And the guard that she's shooting at is the same guards that we saw.
Same guard, right? That Ahsoka sliced in half.
Yep.
Okay.
Ooh.
Okay.
Parallels. More parallels. So
helicopters. Helicopter lightsabers.
Yeah. So that's Rebels, straight up Rebels. But this also reminds me of the Ahsoka novel. That literally is this scene, word for word, in the book, where the dude is spinning his saber, and she like it implies that she kind of like clashes with him, but it's like she reaches through the middle and messes him up. Like she finds a way to get through it. But
didn't we see
reminds
that
me very much
in
of the novel.
Tales of the Jedi?
It was the same.
Yeah.
It was a much condensed version, but the same thing we saw play out in Tales of the Jedi too.
Yes.
Man, How many
But that's what
times
this
is
reminds me of.
How many times is Ahsoka just gonna grab lightsabers from the middle?
Well,
Hey, I guess they keep.
She's a specialist. Hey,
She's like, oh, I've done this twice before. Let's come on.
she's an inquisitor.
Every
specialist,
inquisitor,
yeah.
every inquisitor that she's ever used it on got killed. So it's not like they were able to pass the knowledge down to the next one.
Spinning lightsaber, cool trick. Try spinning.
Cool trick.
And of course, we get the biggest bombshell, I think, from the trailer. Two episode premiere.
They posted that though a couple days ago, right?
When the trailer came out.
Like, okay, it must have been, yeah.
Yeah.
They're like, you're gonna get 2 episodes. Yeah. Boom.
Oof. Good trailer.
Heavy. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be
John,
really
your
good.
eyes got big when you started talking about the books and the things you read.
No.
So, John's eyes were big.
Check it. Well, hold on. So a lot of people don't know. A lot of people that are listening to us now, or that are fans of the Bad Batch costumes we did, they don't know that I was actually a Kanan Jarrus costumer way before that. Way before we did the Bad Batch.
Repost some of your stuff, dude. You should repost.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start posting some older stuff. Yeah, because it's not relevant in the sense that he's not going to be around, but it is relevant to the parallels that are happening in the new show. So I am going to post a few old Kanan photos, and I'm going to try to keep growing my hair out if I can and do Kanan again. I actually want to do a live action version.
Force Ghost Kanan. Live action Force Ghost Kanan.
I want to do a Mando version of Kanan, like the way Sabine looks or the way Ahsoka looks, but Kanan's costume, rather than, because I have the animated season 3 and 4 costume, and I'm kind of I would love to do like a more textured fabric costume, you know.
And then you could walk around. You could walk around at conventions behind Sabine, saying "Use the Force, Sabine."
Dude, I have my Kanan Jarrus samurai style oval hilt lightsaber, and check this out. It even has a
chopper. Sounds like Chopper.
A chopper boot up, yeah. Whatever, it's just a blue lightsaber. But I'm ready. I got it. So we'll see.
For your information, the stinger of a Yalvik queen is a delicacy on some planets.
So this is the last episode of season 1 of the Dad Batch pod. And so I wanted to ask you guys, like, what show or moment during the pod, since we started the pod in the last year, that's memorable for you. So what makes it special? It could be something that was said. It could be a segment. It could be anything. Even some of our followers, if you want to do a shout out to some of the followers, just what are some of the memorable, what comes to mind?
I mean, the turnout that we had for both of our live events was great, impressive. I mean, I still can't believe, like, we walked out the door. We were poking around at Celebration London, and we walked outside and we looked at the line, and it like it went through some turnstile things and then wrapped around the side of the room and down the hall. We were not expecting that, and I think we're still surprised that. We're still surprised that anybody wants to listen to us goof around for 2 hours a week, you know?
Shocked. But shocked, I think, was how you felt. Definitely how I felt. Like, no way. No way are they out here.
So those live events are always something special. And the folks that turn out for those, just Celebration in general, everything that happened there was just a whirlwind. We got to interview D. Bradley Baker. I mean, how
dang.
cool was that?
I forgot about
that. Right?
Yeah,
like one of the coolest things.
And then interviews D late.
That's my favorite moment. Before I forget, that was my favorite moment. Being wasted at like 6 a.m. and knowing that I'm like, oh my god, I have to interview D. Bradley Baker after the World Cup final as my country wins, and I'm completely hammered. And he's like, what? I come in just like, what's up? Yeah, that was probably my favorite moments, because you guys were like, like, what are you doing? Because I remember the look on everyone's face was just like, oh no, like, He's gonna ruin.
We
this
weren't sure what you were gonna
entire
do.
thing."
You were so
Right.
happy, dude. And then you show up, and it wasn't like, okay, game time. Let's focus on the interview. You started explaining to D. We just won the World Cup, and
I assumed
Been
you
waiting for
guys
this my whole
told
life.
him. No. But I assumed you guys told him like, oh, sorry, the last guy's late because he's watching the final of the World Cup. And then I
We
show
don't
up.
wanna
I'm
say
like,
that you were late.
I'm like,
No.
oh, we won, and he
I
was
wouldn't
like,
wanna-
what? No, I thought, yeah,
D,
yeah. I
let
thought
me
you
give
guys
you
would be
some
like,
context.
sorry.
Let me give you
Sorry,
some
we're
context.
late. You know. Yeah, well, the guy's late. Why is he late? Oh, he's watching the World Cup final. Whatever, big
It was a
deal.
great
Oh,
interview.
they won, so he might be a little weird. Yeah, great interview. That was my highlight, definitely. And the live shows. I'm echoing what Rami said. The live shows were a treat. Like London was totally unexpected. I did not expect that many people. The line out the door, people standing up, amazing. And the Tonga hut was cool too because it gave me that kind of vibe. And that's it. Same as Rami, basically.
I'm sorry, I stepped out. What was the question?
What's your favorite
What show or moment stands out from the last our first season, basically of
show or moment
memorable?
I think. I mean, everything you guys said, I absolutely agree with. I think for me, I would have to say Chrome Tono from last year.
Dang. Yeah, that's good
what
too.
specifically about Chrome Tono?
Well, like we had started the show, and then, I mean, we have. I know we always joke around saying that we only have like 12 listeners or whatever, but when I see the metrics of our show and I see the listener count increase every week, it's whatever. Like I can get all into all the numbers and all that stuff, but it really hit me when we announced the Chrome Tono project alongside Mike's Ornament project, and within not even a month, we had raised over $15,000 from our listeners. And like, I mean, and not just to say that we hit that number, but the trajectory and the excitement that we had when that number was raising, when our initial goal was like only what?
Yeah. Like
$3,000 or something.
Every couple of days in the chat, it'd be like in the morning I'd get the email from the lady at NDSS, and then I'd message you guys and be like, guys,
yeah,
guess what?
Right. That's
but
right.
I think we had started off with like, maybe we can raise a couple grand, and then it was like, maybe we can raise 5.
It was 3.
Yeah, and then maybe we can raise 10, and then this, and then one night we just jumped like $3,000 overnight, and I don't know. It was around that time I was going through, like myself, I was going through a lot of emotional things, and I don't know, I was just kind of like, it was the holidays, and I was not really vibing with humanity at that point. But then to all of this just happening on its own, it was an amazing feeling and an amazing thing to watch. So yeah. And I would say that every person that donated to Chrome Tono, whether it was $1 or $1,000 or whatever, those are my favorite listeners, because, and it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, you can't say that you have a favorite kid or whatever, but no, like those people that just even gave $1 to that program, that was extra special.
Yeah, that was huge. I think definitely London. It was funny because we were talking about this earlier, maybe a couple hours ago, and I think John, Brian, and myself went to go get a beer right before getting ready to like kind of kick things off. Steven, you were inside the room with Rami, I think, and because there was nobody around, like, we're thirsty. We've already walked around. It's the end of the day. Let's go get a beer. We came back, and this line came out of nowhere to enter this live podcast show, and I'm like, are these people lost? Like, what's happening? And like, no, this is for this is for the podcast. I'm like, what?
All of a sudden, yeah.
I was so shocked. Like, but you could tell something was happening because that was the first day of celebration, And mind you, when I showed up at the airport to get my luggage in London, Heathrow, somebody's like, "Are you Tech Bad Batch? Are you from the Dad Batch podcast?" I'm like, "Whoa, excuse me?"
You're like, actually,
why, yes, I am. No, it was just so surreal. So that was awesome. But honestly, dude, the thing that stands out the most was getting that letter from Ryan, the cop in Maryland. So, I mean, so it's one thing to be shocked when you go to London and you're like, oh, wow, you're in France or you're from Germany and you listen to the show and somehow we entertain you while you build. That's amazing. Thank you. Keep doing that. But now we have a listener who's not on social media at all, didn't start with our podcast, but started listening to Armor Party. And then from Armor Party, Mike Forrester, shout out Mike Forrester, who does amazing, and I hope he continues with that. We haven't had any recently, and I hope he's maybe just getting a breather and resetting because we want to bring that show back. It's so good. But through that show, this guy, Ryan, finds our show, and somehow we make a connection, and he writes this amazing letter that's heartfelt. And so while you have metrics, Steven, there's so many more unknowns that we have no idea who we're impacting. And Kim, my wife, joyful SoCal girl, confirmed it with some of the people that we met in London, where a young gentleman, who I will not say his name, said, man, I was like in the middle of, a relationship. The woman has a child. I wasn't sure if I should get into this relationship, but hearing you guys as dads is kind of encouraging. And like, where are you serious? Like, you're listening to us at that level? Like, are you sure you want to listen to us at that level?
We're influencing life choices. Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to be careful with what we say. No, but it's just cool to realize that we're having a positive influence. That's super surreal. And we get to do it together, guys. Like, Brian's not here. Shout out to Brian, but it's cool.
Shout out to Brian. He's on a boat somewhere in a cove, floating around. Mofoing around.
Anybody want to read what Brian's favorite moment was? He posted it in our chat.
Oh, did he?
Did he?
Oh, shoot.
Okay. Well,
since
you guys don't even know.
Oh, in our Instagram chat?
He said his favorite moment was episode 00, the pilot, when we first started, and he had no idea what we were going to start doing, and all of a sudden the recording starts, and he's got theme music going on and intros, and he's like, what the heck? Like, I think
that was a surprise.
I think he thought that this was just going to be like the Facebook Messenger calls where we're just like, shooting the breeze for an hour. I don't think that he had fully expected the production. But, now look at us, right? End of season 1.
Here we are.
49 episodes.
Making up episodes.
Oh my goodness, guys.
Record our audio. Yeah. Amazing.
49.
49. Old balls, as they say in the countryside. Over yonder.
Well, I think that does it for us today, guys. If you enjoyed listening to the show, feed the algorithm and give 5 stars on your podcast app. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Our Road to 1,000 contest is underway, and there is still time to enter. Just subscribe, and you can be entered to win an Alpha Ignition helmet of your choice, casted by the Dad Batch. Stickers and shirts. I mentioned it at the top of the show that we had some Bad Batch, Tiki Batch stickers still available. Guys, I've only got 2 now that's left, because apparently some people listening to the live stream already messaged us and claimed a few of them. So we got 2 left.
Wow.
Wow.
You can follow me at stevie.kicks on Instagram, sometimes Twitter, I guess on Threads, maybe. I'm not sure. Gentlemen, let the listeners know where they can find you. Joe?
Tech.badbatch.
And Raimi?
thedadbatch.com.
And John?
You can find me at Mosh Isley on the 21st of this month.
That's right.
Mosh Isley.
And you can find Brian at Sithin Ain't Easy. If you're going to be at San Diego Comic-Con next week or Mosh Isley, come hang out with us. Say hi. Show us your progress pics. Show us your builds. We want to see it all. Come take a selfie. And thank you again, everybody, for listening to Season 1 of the Dad Batch podcast. We're going to take a few weeks off. We'll be back next month. Be sure to tune in for Season 2. And remember, until next time, enjoy your spice responsibly.